Yo, what's going on, guys? You guys already know who it is. It's been a while since I've uploaded, so I just decided to make a video today on how I changed my oil on my Yamaha MT07 2020 MT07. First things that you're gonna want to use is I got a 17mm socket, and then a ratchet, rag, and then you're gonna need your filter. If you go to any part store and look up online, if you have a 2020 MT07, you should have the same filter as me, but it'll be a KN or a KN if it's a KNN, 204-1. The part number is always on the side right here. And then you're gonna need 3 quarts of oil. I always have a fourth, just in case. When I started up, probably 0.3 of a quart is gonna go into the filter, so that's gonna be 0.3 of the oil is gonna, leave my pan to go to my filter. And so once you got your 3 quarts and all your tools ready, also make sure you have a pan. This one is used, that's why it looks all kind of nasty like that. So first thing what you're going to want to start off with is I usually just grab my filter. It should be hand tight. If it's not hand tight, I would recommend going to a part store, any part store, and then get a band wrench, or if you do have a K&M filter like me, you can attach a socket onto the back of this and also take it off the same way as a drain plug. But mine should be hand tight, so you can just kind of turn it. Oil's gonna come out, make sure the pan's underneath it. And then once you take this off, I meant to catch that. I did not mean for it to drop like that. I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way. Take that off. I'm trying to do this one-handed while recording, so I don't know which way. Right, so it's going the right way. And then you want to get your 17mm on there. It just had a weird angle, so I wonder if I could set this up. I'm trying to set this up. All right, so now that it's set up, get your 17mm on there, and then I'm gonna stand up for this. I'm sitting down. Loosen up your drain plug, and then from there, you just, well, I already got oil on my hands, so take out your drain plug. Make sure when you take out your drain plug too that the washer does not fall off your drain plug, because you're gonna need that too. Let that drain. Check your threads, make sure that there's no metal shavings. As long as you're changing your oil, you don't got to worry about anybody over tightening your drain plug to where you have to worry about your threads. But just in case you do, I check mine all the time, even though I do my own oil change. And then from there, I'll grab my new filter, and then I'm not gonna grab my phone anymore because I was recording off my phone, but since my hands are all oily, I'll just wait till later. So here's your new filter. It will have a new cover on it if it is a K&M, and it will come already lubed. But if it's not lubed, lube it up with some new oil. Make sure that gasket is nice and shiny, just because when you go to take it off next time, the oil filter will not seize to the bike, like, get stuck onto the bike to where it'll make it harder to take it off, and it'll cause a leak if your oil filter is not lubed. Just because there's, it just makes a better seal when you put on your oil filter. So I'm gonna put that on right now, and it only has to be hand tight. So when you do put it on, you don't got to use no tools, no nothing. Just grab a rag. Actually, I'm gonna just do it with my hand. As tight as you can get it up in the rag and the oil. And once you got it on there, now that your oil is, somewhat drained, still going a little bit, you can put your drain plug back in. And then once you put your drain plug back in, let me wipe off my hands. Once you put your drain plug in, right here will be where you put the new oil in, and I will have to grab a funnel for that. I thought I was prepared but wasn't. So once that is done draining, I'm gonna put the drain plug back in. Put this back in there. And then I would usually torque it down to spec, but I'll torque it down after this video. I just want to know that it's, you know, somewhat tight on there. I just need to make sure it's somewhat tight on there. And then I'm trying to get this side. It's not cooperating with me. Once I know that it's somewhat tight, like right there, I'll worry about the torque specs later. I'm now gonna fill up my oil, and then once you put oil in there, it'll show up on your window. You can see that there's no oil. Once you fill it up, you want to tilt your bike up straight, or have somebody help you with it. Since it is on the kickstand, lean it up straight, and then right here it'll show your oil level, and this is pretty much your dipstick. So as long as it fills this window right here, you're good on oil. Typically it's 3 quarts. It may differ for you. I have no clue depending on the years. They should be all the same, but as long as I fill up this window, that means I'm good on oil. And then from there, I usually just start up the bike, and then let it prime the filter and all that stuff. Get some oil pumping through the filter, and then once I get that going, I'll look at the window one more time, and then the oil will drop maybe down to like halfway, and then I'll just add that oil, new oil, back up until the window is completely full. And then once you get that done, you're completely done with your oil change. Let me get that all done, and then I'll cut back to when I'm all done, and I'll show you guys the next steps. Alrighty, I'm back, guys. So now that I got all the oil put in, I put in probably about like 2.5 quarts. As you can see, I got my kickstand sitting on something to kind of like make my bike straight. As you can see, it is just straight up and down. So now all I gotta do is start it up, because you can see the window, it is completely full. You can kind of see where it stops. It stops like right at the top. So I put in just enough oil for it. So now I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I mean by the oil filter will take some. This will have 0 cuts, so literally you can see where it's at. I'm gonna start it up way up here. I'm not even pointing the camera up there. You can see how much oil the filter did take. So I'm gonna take this cap back off. And it won't take much, guys. It won't even take like probably, see, you can already see it going up, and with how much I had already put in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Just keep watching the window. Just because you want to know where it fills up at. I'm pointing where I want it to. Maybe a little bit more. This should be good. You can see it actively raising as I'm just a tad bit more. You can see it got it right back on full. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see it's right back up on full. The filter has been primed, it's already tightened, stuff like that. And that right there is literally how you do your oil change on a 2020 Yamaha MT07. Nothing more to it. It's pretty easy. You'll find on some bikes, like sport bikes, because my other bike, it was a CBR 600 RR 2007. It will have fairings on it, and all the plastics will cover your oil filter, your drain plug, and all that stuff. So that is a whole different process than the MT07, just because it is a naked bike. Everything's so accessible, the drain plug, the oil filter. So that's pretty much it. Other bikes will be on this channel here soon, and I will show you how to do it on a sport bike that does have fairings on it. They are a little bit more challenging. Literally all it is taking the fairings off of the bike and putting them back on. The oil filter and the drain plug is literally the same thing as this bike. It's just the sport bikes have fairings, that's it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys like this. If you guys want any more tutorials on how to do anything to your bike, just comment down below and I'll be sure to try my best to make that video. It's contested moto, and I'll see you guys later.